Hello, I'm Christian.
I'm Scott.
And this is the Nerdy Boys Review. This is our very first webisode. Today is Sunday, September 21st of the 2014. So we're going to talk about different kinds of nerdy things, like mostly comic books and things pertaining to comic books, movies, television, things like that. And then we'll talk about other kind of nerdy things too here and there. But today we're going to focus on new television shows and returning television shows that are comic book related. So we're going to start with Marvel and what's going on there. This summer they had some great films come out. Winter Soldier, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy. They also had Days of Futures Past for X-Men, which I felt was a disappointment, but we're going to talk about the good ones. So,
Yeah.
Guardians is top 3 of any Marvel film ever made.
Yeah, I agree with that statement totally. Top 3, some people might, say, so I'll give him a little bit more leeway, definitely top 5. I honestly do put it in my top 3. I mean, the movie was just so great. I mean, probably the best being Avengers.
Yeah.
But definitely a great movie. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. Fantastic.
I've seen it 3 times.
I've seen it twice. Both with this guy.
Yeah.
Very, very good movie. Things I liked about it, had a lot of comic relief to it, a lot of action, great effects, great fight scenes. I mean, everybody really goes to these superhero movies for the fight scenes. Let's be honest, most people don't know too much about the backstories.
Yeah, and if you do, you might be a little disappointed. But really try not to be. James Gunn did an amazing job with this film, and it gives you something new, and there's something for everyone in it. I wanted to see Nova, but he wasn't in there. But they show Thanos, and he looks awesome in this movie. It just has so much to it, and it's really good. The villain in it is kind of scary, and his name is Ronan, and he does a fantastic job of being the villain in this film. But if you haven't seen it, go see it. Captain America: Winter Soldier, fantastic film. I think the guy who plays Bucky in this film, or Winter Soldier, if you haven't seen it.
Sorry. We try not to give too many spoilers, but it has been, 3 months since the movie came out. I'm sorry if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it came out in April of this year, so if you haven't seen it, it's out on DVD now. You should have seen it by now. The guy in the first film, you had Bucky Barnes, and the guy was, this kind of mediocre actor, but he looks great in this film. He acts great in this film, and it's really good. There's tie-ins with the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so if you want to see any of that, watch them both. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back this fall again, so I would definitely check that out and watch Winter Soldier if you haven't seen it.
Alright, so on the last of the list of our summer movies, blockbuster movies, would be the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean, I can't really say much about this movie. I think it was fantastic. The thing I love about it so much is, in the first series, Spider-Man, they didn't capture his essence. He's a little too emotional, too serious for me. In this one, I feel that they captured him perfectly. He's witty, he is smart aleck. He's he's kind of a jerk. I mean, and that's who Spider-Man is. I mean, if you don't read the comic books and watch the animated series, you should start doing that, by the way. You would find out quickly that more often than not, Spider-Man is a trash talker. He'll, crawl around on the walls and, make these sly little comments towards his opponents and these villains. And he taunts people a lot, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, Deadpool is super popular. If you read Deadpool, you see how smart alecky he is. Spider-Man was the original guy who did that. He's witty, and if you haven't read any of Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales, he's witty in that. It's fantastic. And if you haven't read the new Amazing Spider-Man series, also witty. It captures his essence. And writers tend to write him similar a lot, and that's what Andrew Garfield really does. And even if you can't, so a lot of people compare it to the old Spider-Man series, but this one stands on its own. It's great. It's definitely something you want to see. One gripe I have is everyone works at Oscorp. Other than character introduction and things like that, it's not necessary. This movie has a huge moment at the end, so I would definitely, it's slow in some parts, but wait till the end and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, most definitely.
Before we move on from Marvel, Avengers Age of Ultron comes out next year in May. There's so much coming out about this film right now. There haven't really been any trailers, anything. There's like one little teaser, but they're setting up a lot of impressive things. If you know anything about Joss Whedon and the work he's done and the writing he has, you better be excited for this film. Look into it. Read everything you can about it. Read some old Avengers books. Get some graphic novels. Read Infinity if you have to. It's going to set up for a lot.
Yeah, the show is going to basically set the tone for everything, It's going to be an amazing film, most definitely. I mean, we're still a year away from it, and I'm so pumped for it, I just read an article today, giving away like a potential plot spoiler type deal that they might include Miss Marvel and Cap might put together a team towards the end with Mr. Marvel, and so that's all we really have on Marvel right now.
Yeah, try to stay away from some articles like spoiling that Phase 3 is going to be Civil War. Stay away from those. Read things that are confirmed. We know Scarlet Witch is going to be in it, Quicksilver is going to be in it, and The Vision, so it's going to be excellent. Let's talk about DC now.
DC, very, very exciting time for the DC company. Instead of doing more movies, they're doing TV shows. As you already know, we already have the Green Arrow, which is going into their 3rd season now. They just finished season 2 not too long ago. Just a little recap. I don't want to give too much spoilers. The basis of the show is Oliver Queen, which, no surprise, that's Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
Basically, he's shipwrecked on an island. He comes back. He has some stuff to do as the Green Arrow. I mean, that's basically all I can really say on it. That doesn't give away spoilers. There's a bunch of cameos throughout the first 2 seasons. It's very, very good show.
It's very supposed to be lifelike. There's no superpowers in this show or anything like that. So that's what you're looking for. I would look for what they set up through season 2 with the Flash that's starting. Season 1 of Arrow is on Netflix. If you have Netflix, watch it. Season 2 just came out on DVD and Blu-ray, so I will pick that up. The Flash is starting in October. It is a spin-off of a little bit of Green Arrow because Barry Allen was introduced there. Now he's getting his own show. This is going to have your superpowers. This is going to have your introductions to more characters, Firestorm and Plastic and things like that. So I'm really hoping to see a lot from that, and I'm excited about Captain Cold as the villain. One of the main villains, so that's what I'm looking forward to. And let's hear what you got to say.
Definitely very, very excited about this Flash show. It has a lot of potential. I was actually fortunate enough to already see the pilot episode. So to sum it up in a couple words, has a lot of potential. Needs some work. I think the overall potential of this show is, the ceiling is set high, basically. I mean, this has so much potential to be a great TV show that it's not going to really be too much like anything that we've really seen too much on TV. We've already had our Smallville, which ran for 10 years. I've watched every episode a couple of times. By far one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Definitely good. I think you watched probably up to season 6, I believe, right?
I've watched, here and there. I watched it when it was airing, but I haven't watched too much beyond that. But it was, it was good production value for even the time it was made in. What you really want to look for in the Flash is the visual effects can make it or break it. The acting and the writing are going to play a big part of it. Guest stars are going to play a huge part for little introductory things, which is something Arrow's done well with, Deadshot and them getting the Suicide Squad together. Great guest stars in that show, and that's what really is gonna set the show either over the top or have it fall short. The other big thing, DC's hitting hard with these TV shows. That's the direction they're going. Besides, the Justice League movie, they need to go with TV shows. Marvel is outstanding with their movies, and that is really their huge series. And so Marvel has that locked. Like DC can't compete with it. That's why they keep moving back their release dates for movies. So you gotta, if you wanna follow DC, watch the television shows. They got Constantine coming out, which I'm just looking forward to the guy's personality. Other than that, Gotham, Arrow, and Flash. And Gotham is something that airs tomorrow, Monday, September 22nd, 2014. And I think this show is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic is sort of an understatement for me. Basically, for anybody that doesn't know what Gotham is, where it is basically the city Batman grew up in and became the vigilante for as the Batman persona. He is Bruce Wayne in real life. So it takes stage when he is a young boy. This show has nothing to do with him, though. Don't get the misconception that this is a Batman show. This is the origin story to the origin story of Batman. This is more of the lines of Jim Gordon and where he came from and how he grew through the ranks of the police force, how the corruption went rampant in Gotham, who rises to power as like the kingpins of the city,
Right.
The thing I look for in this show is for it to be raw, for it to be gritty, and for it to be dark as hell. I'm really hoping that the bar was set high with this, and I'm really hoping I'm not disappointed. Tomorrow it airs, so we'll find out then.
Yeah.
But what are some of your thoughts on the show?
You want the show to have moments where you go, wow, like I didn't see that coming. I can't believe that happened. As far as just the action some people take, the show is really going to focus on really what happens in the background, which you don't see going on. You see what the villains do. You don't really see how they do it, though, and this is going to focus on how they corrupt politicians, and it's essentially going to play out that Gordon is going to be your moral high ground. He's going to be faced with adversity, and he's going to rise above it and make the right choices. Other people in the city, the mayors, certain commissioners, certain people in the police force, it's going to focus on the politics of them being forced to make a decision, and they take the easy way out, and that makes them a corrupt politician. Crime lords are going to run the city, and they're going to do some nasty, gritty things. And I think the show is going to shock a lot of people in the direction it goes, and I hope it meets my expectations.
So on to our last point of this webisode is we're going to cover some of the comic books.
Yeah. Right now, Marvel's newest event, they just finished Original Sin, which, if you haven't read, the middle is kind of slow, but the beginning's good, the end is good. Now they're doing Edge of the Spider-Verse, and I love Spider-Man, so I'm really excited about it. I have the first 2 issues. I haven't read them yet. Picking up the 3rd issue this week. So that's what I'm reading right now. Besides, basic DC, Batman Eternal is great. Future's End is great. They're up to issues 20 something. So if you haven't picked any of those up, I probably wouldn't start now. I'd wait for the graphic novel editions or what they call them, volume editions. But other than that, if you're looking for something new, Spider-Man 2099 is on its 3rd issue. It's great. Amazing Spider-Man is on its 7th issue almost, and that is good. And then just a slow shout out to God is Dead. It's on issue 21, I believe, this week, but that is a very, very, very good series. I would look into getting those. They have those graphic novels for volume 1 and 2 already out.
Yeah, he brought up a point of God is Dead, and I've only read like a couple of issues on it, and I already think it's fantastic. It's from an indie company that's a little lesser known as Avatar Comics. They're on issue what again?
21.
Yeah, 21, and I've only read a couple. So, basis of the whole comic is gods are angry with the humans, and not just any one specific religion or anything. It's gods from all these different religions. They're basically taking back the earth. So that was just a little intro on that comic book.
It's mature readers only. They're not going to card you at the comic book store, but it has nudity, it has language, so be careful what you let your kids read.
Yeah, and if you're not into it, that was just a nice little disclaimer for our viewers.
Yeah.
Another good series, he's already pretty much mentioned most of them, is Batman Eternal, Future's End. There's a bunch of number ones that are coming out right now. If you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, then those could be something cool that you can get into, because at least you have something to go off of. I mean, I just started reading some Guardians of the Galaxy with, it's just including Rocket Raccoon and Groot. I picked up Storm, and then me personally, I'm a big DC guy. I love Batman. I love Robin, and so I read there's a running issue a couple years back. It's a Red Robin, pretty good one. I think they only went up to 20 something, so it's not too large of a issue. You could check that out. It's a pretty good one to read. Guardians
is great because it's they have individual characters that are monthly series, so it's very, very little commitment to it. Rocket Raccoon is in its 3rd issue, and it's just every month. So pick it up once a month, and you're good. Star-Lord's the same. I think it's just those two for the individual ones, but I mean, if you like Guardians and you want to read it, it's once a month. Just look for them, and it's very low commitment. So I think that wraps up our comic book section. I'm going to do my collectible of the week, and this week is this Captain America statue by Kotobuyoku. These things are pretty cool. They're doing the whole Avengers series from the movies, so Black Widow, Hawkeye, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man. The Hulk one is sick looking. It hasn't come out yet. But this is the Captain America one. It just came out this week, or last week rather. It's not made of any great material. It's made of good plastic though. You put the body on the legs and the arms on the body yourself, but it has little magnets on its feet to keep it on the stand. And it looks great though. This retails for about $55. If you remember, or if you subscribe to any comic books at your local comic book store, a lot of them give discounts. Shout out to Metropolis here in Elk Grove, California, for being great and always giving me great deals and being great people. So that wraps up our first Webisode episode. This is Nerdy Boys Review. Stay nerdy, boys!
Oh my god.